Hi, I'm Shuai. I will present work understanding the effects of human self-confidence calibration in AI-assisted decision-making on behalf of my co-authors Xinru, Ying, Chuhan, Ming, and Xiaojuan. Nowadays, AI is widely used to assist people in various decision-making tasks, such as investment, medical diagnosis, criminal justice, etc. Due to legal and ethical considerations, AI often doesn't fully automate a task, but rather acts as an assistant, providing recommendations, with humans acting as final decision makers deciding to accept or reject AI's recommendations. Since AI is still far from perfect, it's necessary for humans to rely on AI appropriately. Let's use a classification task to briefly illustrate what appropriate reliance means. When human prediction is correct and AI recommendation is wrong, or human prediction is wrong and AI recommendation is correct, if human's final decision is correct, we see it is appropriate reliance. In contrast, if human accepts AI's incorrect recommendation or overlooks AI's correct recommendation, we call it inappropriate reliance. As we all know, many AI models can output a prediction along with a confidence score. A well-calibrated confidence score can represent the AI's actual correctness likelihood on that prediction. So showing AI confidence should be able to improve human appropriate reliance. However, in recent years, many empirical studies have investigated the effects of showing AI confidence or uncertainty in various formats, but they have found that it doesn't significantly enhance the reliance appropriateness or task performance. So why? One reason is that the complementarity between human and AI is not enough. In cases with high AI confidence, people are already good at it. And in cases with low AI confidence, people don't know how to judge it either. But another reason is that existing work expects that humans can make rational choices after seeing AI confidence. The assumption is that people's self-reported confidence can accurately reflect their actual correctness likelihood. However, this is not always true. Through a pilot study, we found that people have pretty calibrated self-confidence. Like this figure, humans may make incorrect predictions with overly high confidence, which leads to their ignore of AI's correct suggestions. So humans' misperception of their self-confidence makes it hard for them to make the optimal choice by comparing their own confidence level to AI's confidence level. Since human self-confidence in their own prediction may be inaccurate, one intuitive solution is to calibrate human self-confidence to improve the appropriateness of human self-confidence. But first, let's ask, what's the appropriateness of human self-confidence? At a task level, the appropriateness of human self-confidence can be defined as the alignment between human self-reported confidence and their actual accuracy. For example, in this figure, the x-axis is the stated confidence and the y-axis is the actual accuracy. A calibrated confidence should be the left figure, where the stated confidence exactly matches the actual accuracy. The middle and right figures show overconfidence and underconfidence respectively. At the same time, appropriate reliance requires humans to decide whether to accept AI suggestions in a case-by-case manner. So we also propose an instance-level measurement, confidence correctness matching. In this work, we use a binary classification task, and for simplicity, we only consider a binary category of human self-confidence, which is either high or low. For example, if confidence is high and prediction is correct, or if confidence is low and prediction is incorrect, we call it CC matched. In contrast, if confidence is high but prediction is incorrect, or if confidence is low but prediction is correct, we call it CC mismatched. We propose an analytical framework based on a two-stage decision-making process, where a human makes an initial prediction, then sees AI suggestions, and finally makes a final decision. We categorize the CC matching of both human initial prediction and AI suggestion into four categories, and humans can make a correct or incorrect final decision. So there are 4 by 4 by 2, 32 situations in total. To save space, we only focus on situations where humans' initial prediction is different from AI suggestion and the final decision is incorrect. So you may ask why human self-confidence appropriateness matters. Let's compare figure A and figure B. In figure A, the human makes a correct initial prediction, but with a low self-confidence, while in figure B, with high self-confidence. They argue that in situations like figure A, after seeing an incorrect AI's prediction, the human is more likely to incorrectly rely on AI due to the human's low self-confidence. Similarly, in figure C, a human makes an incorrect initial prediction, but with high self-confidence, while in figure D, with low self-confidence. We argue that in situations like figure C, the human is less likely to accept AI's correct suggestions due to human's high self-confidence. To verify our arguments in our study 1, aim for understanding the relationship between human self-confidence appropriateness and reliance appropriateness. We raise 3 specific research questions. 1. How will different situations of human CC matching affect team performance? 2. How will the appropriateness of human self-confidence correlate with the appropriateness of human reliance? 3. How will the presence of AI confidence affect the appropriateness of human self-confidence, the appropriateness of human reliance, and task performance? We use income prediction as our task, where participants were asked to predict whether an adult's annual income exceeds 50K US dollars or not based on adult's profile. We carefully selected 20 task instances with 75% AI accuracy. To avoid confounding factors raised from the AI side, we made sure the AI model confidence is well calibrated in the selected instances, and we compared two conditions with AI confidence and without AI confidence using a between-subject study design. As mentioned earlier, participants go through 3 steps to make a decision. When participants made their initial prediction, we gave them a slider to indicate their confidence. We measured the appropriateness of their self-confidence via overconfidence ratio, underconfidence ratio, and ECE. And we measured the appropriateness of their reliance via over-reliance and under-reliance. For the first question, we categorized participants' predictions based on the confidence correctness matching, and we found that when human confidence correctness is mismatched, the error rate in their final decisions is significantly higher. For the second question, we calculated the Spearman correlation between ECE and over-reliance and under-reliance and found significant correlations. This indicates that the more inappropriate is human self-confidence, the more inappropriate is their reliance on AI. For the third question, we compared the 2 groups with and without AI confidence. We found that there was no significant difference in accuracy and ECE, and showing AI confidence had both pros and cons for the over-under confidence ratio and the over-under reliance. In our second study, we aim for comparing the effects of different self-confidence calibration mechanisms. Based on theories in decision-making and cognitive science, we designed 3 self-confidence calibration mechanisms. The first one is called think the opposite. In this condition, humans need to answer 2 questions before indicating their confidence. For example, participants were asked, in case your prediction is wrong, what would be the most likely reason? The second calibration mechanism is called thinking in bets. We gave participants some virtual coins and told them that the virtual coins can be converted to payments after the study. Before they indicated their confidence, we asked them, how many coins do you want to bet on your prediction? The third calibration mechanism is called calibration status feedback. Before participants go to the main task, we included a feedback session where participants go through 20 tasks and the interface will give real-time feedback on their confidence. And after the feedback session, the interface will display a post-hoc feedback to help them analyze their overall confidence. We asked 2 detailed research questions. First, how will different self-confidence calibration mechanisms affect task performance and the appropriateness of human self-confidence? Second, how will different self-confidence calibration mechanisms affect humans' perceptions and user experience? We conducted a between-subject study to compare 4 conditions: think, bet, feedback, and the control condition. In each condition, participants went through 5 steps, including familiarization task before calibration and main task with calibration. Note that in this study, there is no AI assistance. For the first question, we found that for the familiarization task before calibration, there was no significant difference in accuracy and ACE. In the main task with calibration, participants in the three calibration conditions had significantly higher accuracy than the control condition, and participants in sync and feedback had significantly lower ACE than the control condition. Remember that ACE is the lower the better, so sync and feedback seem to be more effective than bad. For the second question, we found that participants in the control condition perceived their self-confidence to be the most appropriate. However, the truth is that in the control condition, participants' self-confidence is the worst. So without calibration, humans' perceptions could be unreliable. We also found that participants in the sync condition had significantly higher mental demand and perceived complexity. So taking the pros and cons into consideration, we decided to choose feedback as a calibration mechanism for our study 3. We summarized a comprehensive comparison of the 3 calibration mechanisms. For the details, please check out our paper. In our study 3, we aim for investigating the effects of human self-confidence calibration on AI-assisted decision-making. We asked 3 questions. First, how will the calibration of human self-confidence affect human reliance behaviors? Second, how will it affect the appropriateness of human reliance on AI suggestions? Third, how will it affect human task performance? We compared 2 conditions, calibration and no calibration in a between subjects design. In the with calibration condition, we applied calibration status feedback to calibrate participants' self-confidence before they proceed to the main task. We use the same metrics as the last 2 studies to measure the appropriateness of human self-confidence and task performance. For the appropriateness of human reliance, apart from the 2 metrics, over-reliance and under-reliance, we also measure the accuracy with initial disagreement. Besides, we measure participants' reliance behaviors by agreement fraction, switch fraction, and follow high confidence fraction. Follow high confidence fraction means when human prediction disagrees with AI suggestion, how often the humans follow the one with higher confidence. For the first question, we observed no significant difference in agreement fraction and switch fraction, so calibrating human self-confidence doesn't directly affect their overall reliance on AI. However, we found when disagreement occurs, participants in the calibration condition were more likely to follow the one with higher confidence. For the second question, we found that with calibration, participants had significantly lower under-reliance, but there was no significant difference in terms of over-reliance and accuracy with initial disagreements. This result indicates that calibrating human self-confidence only improves the appropriateness of human reliance in some aspects. For the third question, we found that with calibration, participants' final accuracy was significantly higher than no calibration. However, with the self-confidence calibration, participants' initial accuracy was also significantly higher. So it's unclear whether the improved final accuracy was because of their better initial accuracy or appropriate reliance. We think both factors contributed to the improved final accuracy. And we found a nonlinear, complex relationship between human initial task performance, human self-confidence appropriateness, human's reliance appropriateness, and human's final accuracy. Based on our studies, we advocate that apart from calibrating human trust in AI, researchers should pay more attention to the inappropriate reliance problem from a human perspective. In addition, we provide a set of design recommendations for human AI decision-making. For example, we encourage designers during the decision-making system development to use our proposed analytical framework to diagnose the confidence calibration status of both humans and AI and make targeted improvements. For example, if a significant CC mismatch exists among users, designers should introduce calibration mechanisms to adjust the user's self-confidence. Conversely, if AI-CC mismatching is a main issue, designers should collaborate with machine learning engineers to optimize confidence calibration in AI. Thanks for listening.